Morning, everybody. How you doing? Welcome back to the Spurs Talk Show. I am Sean Butler. Bugsy Malone's just down here in front of me. I hope you're all happy and healthy doing the things that you love to do with those that you love doing them with. It's a lovely day today. Much different to yesterday when it was old winter jacket time. Today it's almost bronzing weather. And that might be what I end up doing this afternoon. Guys, before we get into today's quick one, it's going to be a quick one because there's one story. I talked on it briefly yesterday, but then I've gone back and read the details, and actually it's far worse than I thought. And my mind on it is quite, polarised and possibly offensive to some of you that will take one side of the oche. But I think that whilst the devil is in the detail, context is key when it comes to Bentancur, and the fact that he is facing a 12-match ban. I said 3-match, and I was okay with it, because I feel like there has to be some consequences for your actions. I feel like if you are someone who has a role in life, a job where you're going to be an influence over the younger generation coming up, then you need to, especially with football being a bastion of kicking racism out, then you have to live by the sword, and if you don't, you die by the sword. And to me, what Bentancur said, I don't know the context of it. I saw it, but it was in Spanish. I don't know. He maintains, I believe, that he said that he was talking about Sonny's cousin or brother or something. I'm not sure if that's true or whether the detail was that he was just referring to all Koreans looking alike. Which is, let's be honest, if we're grown-ups here, that is a tongue-in-cheek thing that a lot of races say about a lot of other races. In jest, it's not usually meant with offence, and I absolutely 100% believe that Bentancur meant no nasty offence towards his mate Sonny. They're brothers in the same team, they love each other, and Sonny forgave him. That said, you can't let these things go unpunished, because if you set a precedent of not taking a stand against it, then it makes you look like a hypocrite with the rest of the things that are going on. And so I understand the need for punishment. I just want to make sure that there's consistency and that the punishment fits the crime. And with this, it's a weird one because it's not a footballing matter, but it kind of is. It's not like he punched someone on the pitch like he did a couple of weeks back and got a punishment for that. This is something that is subjective, and that some people will say whatever the punishment is, it's not enough, and others will say it's far too much, it's an overreaction. What I'm looking for is consistency. And when you hear the story that Enzo Fernandez was also guilty of similar infractions, also coming from a part of the world, it must be acknowledged and at least stated that there are cultural differences around the world. There are, rightly or wrongly, and who are we to judge? The British, Western Europe, Europeans, white people, whatever, we are all guilty of far worse crimes as a people than some of the cultural infractions that we think we are above in our part of the world, and that other places are still to catch up. Same could be said for things that happen in places like the Middle East and Saudi Arabia, etc. Who are we to judge when you look at our history and to each their own. As long as I'm personally someone who has the take on life, like, you should be able to do whatever the hell you want to do. It's your life, it's your body, it's your freedom, it's your whatever. As long as you are not harming someone, then to each their own, right? But I guess the harming thing comes down to subjectivity around the intent and the impact, and that kind of ongoing dispute around what is and what isn't okay. To me personally, I think that Bentancur did deserve a ban, or did deserve a punishment. But when I hear about 12 games, and Enzo Fernandez, who was singing racist songs about the French for Argentina, and caught on camera doing it, and apparently the FA have said that that's a matter for FIFA to deal with, not for the FA to deal with, yet don't have the same consideration for Roddy Bentancur. It stinks of double standards. Again, I'm not fully aware of all of the context, so forgive me if I'm missing some bits and pieces here, and please feel free to fill me in. I'm happy to be told that I'm well off the track on this one, but I think that 1 or 2 or 3 games is okay. Anything more than that, and then you have to start not just comparing and contrasting other racially motivated bans historically and what's happened as a consequence, and you will find a raft of inconsistencies. And I don't think you'll find one that's where there's as big of a ban for as small of an infraction. And like I say, some people will lean into the idea that it was in jest about a buddy that he knew would take it well, and maybe he just forgot where he was. And like I say, in South America, racial slurs and undertones are not taken as seriously as they are here. Doesn't mean that it's right. Doesn't mean it's okay at all. But 12 games, that's a third of the season, guys. That is a third of the season. Let's put that into context. Everton, for 2 breaches of financial fair play rules, one season after another, where they overspent to the tune of hundreds of millions of pounds, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, if my memory serves me correctly, and those overspends consequenced with other teams getting relegated and them staying up year after year because they had better squads that were just about capable of staying up. They got a 4-point and a 2-point, so 6-point deduction for 2 infringements in 2 seasons. I guarantee you that Rowdy Roddy Bentancur's 12-game absence will 1,000,000% cost Tottenham more than 4 or 6 points, especially if, and you know it will, coincide with a raft of injuries that will happen to take place to our midfield options at the time. You know it's going to happen. But a third of the season? How long did Rio Ferdinand get for skipping out on a drugs test? Was it half a season? How long did Ivan Toney get for breaking hundreds of betting rules, or dozens and dozens of betting rules? Okay, maybe he didn't bet on his own teams and didn't bet on his own team to lose, but a consistent disregard of the rules, not a one-off in the moment thing. Again, out of taste, poor taste, out of whatever motivation. I'm not here to assume any of that, but I am here to judge on the consistency, guys, and I think it stinks. If it's true, 12 games, even 6 games. 6 games is the minimum, apparently, if he's found guilty. It's outrageous. You see people fly in with elbows to break people's jaws and get a yellow card or a red card and a 3-match ban. I mean, the world is upside down to me when you hear in the same breath that Enzo Fernandez can do essentially the same thing in celebration and get away with it in the same environment, playing for your country, and yet for him it's a FIFA matter, yet for the FA, for Tottenham, it's a Tottenham matter. It's an FA matter. And then you compare and contrast the other situations, the other consequences for far worse, in my opinion, far more egregious, flagrant breaking of the rules, either concocted by individuals or by teams, whether it's physical violence on the pitch, whether it's overspend to the tune of hundreds of millions, or whether it's teams like Manchester City and Chelsea, where the rules don't even seem to matter, and the FA are so lackadaisical and carefree with their timeline of events. By the way, apparently Manchester City's day in court begins on Monday, I think. Don't expect anything to come out from it until about 2027, but I mean, I know those things are complicated, and I know there's a lot of things to get through, which is their justification for why it's taken so long. But ultimately, you know there's a part to play in it with the referees. Michael Oliver getting paid, 75 grand for a few games in Saudi Arabia. You know deep down, you understand human nature. I'm sure you do. You know that there is a leniency that has, as of so far, been offered towards Manchester City and to Chelsea in no small part, in all likelihood, because they've been greasing their pockets in some way. Come on. I don't think I'm outrageous to speculate that without any actual evidence, but I'm going to do it anyway because I don't care today. I'm annoyed with just the only people that are getting punished for Rodrigo Bentancur's slip of the tongue and stupid, idiotic comment. And 100% he's an idiot. Like, I hate racists. I hate them. And I don't think he is a racist. I don't know him, so I don't know. But I think that's the sort of thing that could be said by half of the English nation in jest without them having a bad thought towards any other race down the pub on a Friday night. And I tell you what, the only people that are going to get punished by this are Tottenham fans and Tottenham Hotspur. Bentancur should be punished and he should be sanctioned and he should be fined. He said it playing for his country, I believe. So he should be fined and banned from his country, not from his club, in my opinion. I don't know if the rules are clear about a certain jurisdictional overlap. And like I say, I could be wrong on a million parts of this story, so let me know. But what I would say is that the far more appropriate solution would be, how about a one-game ban to show you that you can't just say that stuff and get away with it, but then a significant fine, and the proceeds of which don't go to the FA to go and grease the pockets of whoever they're trying to get involved with, but it goes to some, I don't know, a racially motivated charity, whether that be in the UK, in South America or Korea. Doesn't matter. But that's the way you do it. Punish the man, don't punish the fans, because you know what's going to happen. He'll get a 9, 10, 11, 12 game ban, and then just as that happens, Bissouma's going to be out with a hammy, and as is Pape Sarr. And Tottenham's season will be impacted far more because of one man's silly slip of the tongue, silly comment that has had a massive overreaction from the authorities, who are always looking for an easy way to show that they mean business, but never do it to the people that really cheat, that really deserve it, because they're terrified of them or terrified of losing their payday. And yet other teams can flagrantly break financial fair play rules left and right. And if they do get caught, all they face is a 4-point ban. And I guarantee you Tottenham will drop more than 4 points in that 12-game period because of an absence to him, especially if it's coincided with the inevitable injuries that we will be facing at that time. Guys, that's all I got to say on it. Let me know if you think I've got this one wrong. I possibly have. I'm probably going to offend a few of you. But for me, I would say the fact that the player didn't really take it to heart. He said it was disappointing, but they moved on. They're brothers. The fact that Bentancur's apologised, the fact that there is context to the culture of South America, and again, not that it's an excuse, not that it's okay, but it is a factor. The fact that Enzo Fernandez is getting away with doing something just as bad, and the fact that there are players every single week who try to decapitate their opposition with flying headers, elbows, breaking leg challenges, and the worst they get is a 3-match ban, and yet Bentancur might get a 12-match ban. It's a disgrace. I'm not okay with it. Let me know your thoughts. Like, subscribe and comment, and as always, bye bye.